Mr. Jeff.
Peter, what's going on?
I'm just at home.
You're just at
Tell me
home.
it's a hot day today. I don't know if it's like a hot day like that day or what day. Yeah. But it's a hot day. So
Well,
what's vitamin G for you today, my man? What's the vitamin G for you?
my vitamin G for us. What is my, that's a great question. No, and I got a whole bunch of popping. What I'm grateful for, I really
Go
am.
on.
I'm grateful for the opportunity that is upon us to be able to help. What do you want to do? 100 million people in 10 years?
That's what we're saying. That's what I'm
Yep.
saying.
Yep. That's what I'm grateful for.
Amazing.
How about yourself?
Amazing. I yeah, I'm kind of gonna copy you on that one. I'm actually grateful for this t-shirt, by the way. I just wanted to show this off.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I got given that as a gift for Christmas. That's the first one because I've not worn it since I've been here. And the next one is, I'm grateful that we're at a crossroads where everything's getting ready to be. I'm going to use the word explode and then go out to the people and start really changing people's lives. We're already changing people's lives. I understand that. Just this is going to be the next level. We've got some free events coming up. We're having a free event. We're going to have the community is going to grow pretty fast, pretty quick with the ideas that we've got coming. I'm just excited. And yeah, I think that's what I'm grateful for. So yeah, I'm grateful to you as well for this opportunity to fulfill this 100 million people's lives that I want to change in the next 10 years.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. Say, just before we get started with this podcast,
Yeah.
you think it's a hat day? I don't think it is, because with the lighting, you are
Okay.
shadow all the way through.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
I'll just wear it like that then.
Yeah, that's okay.
Is that
okay.
better?
Yep. Yep.
Great. And I agree with you. Like when I was looking at my picture, I was like, I'm a little bit like, so yeah, cool. I
Awesome.
might take it off during, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
So what are we talking about this week? What is it this week?
We're talking about laws. We're talking about a law.
Oh,
So everybody knows about the law of gravity. You drop something, it falls to the earth. There's all the other laws of cause and effect, the law of attraction. We got a whole bunch of laws. We're going to talk about
criminal law.
criminal law. We're going to talk about the law. You're going in the wrong direction. We're going to talk about the law of Pearson's law. We're going to talk about Pearson's law. And I don't know if anybody's ever heard it, but by the end of this podcast, you guys will know that there's a guy by the name of Carl Pearson. Carl Pearson was born in Germany. No, not Germany. In London. In London in 1850s, passed away in the 1930s. And he was a very educated and a very smart mathematician. He was part of the university over in London, and he was one of the co-founders. If you get into the higher mathematic classes, you're going to have to take statistics. He was one of those that helped create that. So somebody had to create that stuff, and he was one of them. So he's very smart, and along his path, he came across a law that works just like gravity. And the law, they named it after him, which is Pearson's law. And it states that when performance is measured, performance improves. When performance is measured and reported back, the rate of improvement accelerates.
What's the acceleration?
The acceleration can be anywhere from, I've heard people say five times, 10 times. It's just a ton. It's a lot. So yes, we track, but when you track and report back, which we say all the time in our program, track, measure, and report back, that's gigantic. And so with that law, I started to look at that law years ago, and that's how we created the program Healthy Once and For All. And so the program is based around Pearson's law, and we have another name for it. But the program, it's a simplistic, scientific, gamified, results-driven program. And today, let's just talk about the science. And the science comes from Pearson's law.
Nice.
Because here's the whole thing around all of this. If you can follow the facts, you can change anything. And that's what this does for us. So if we follow Pearson's law and we track, we measure, and we report back, and then that's where this whole beautiful thing comes in, where you hear us say it all the time, win your week, win your life. And if you can win your week and you go, oh, and all we're worried about when you're in the program is the next 7 days.
Yeah.
That's all we want you to focus on is the next 7 days. You can focus on the next 7 days. And then what we want to do is we want to extract the wisdom. We want to extract the wisdom from those 7 days. Now, one of the things that we love, that I know you and I talk about all the time, is another part of the foundation of this program is a mindset around, we believe that life is not happening to us. We believe life is happening for us.
Yes.
So if life is happening to you, you're more in that victim role. It's like things happen to me and I have no control over it. If you change your mindset and go, life is happening for me, that means, to me, life is one of our greatest teachers if we'll allow it to be.
Yep.
And so it's always trying to teach us something if we're looking for it. Remember, we talk about this all the time too. Whatever you're looking for, you will find.
Yeah.
And so let's say with this whole Pearson's law, if we take those 7 days and what we do is we think of it as that's a piece of our life. So in those 7 days, life is trying to teach us something. What we've done with the program, and when we have the simplistic, scientific, gamified, results-driven program, in all of that, what we're doing as coaches is we want you to go out and live your life. Just go do your life. But when you come to the weekly call, what we're going to do at the end of the call, you're going to give us action items that you're going to do. And that's where the gamified system comes in. We're just going to have a number. It's like maybe it's 7 action items that you're going to do for this next week, right? What we want to do is when you come back the following week, we're interested in what did you do?
And that's where the Pearson's law comes in, right?
And this is where Pearson's law comes in.
This is where the Pearson's law comes in, because I love it. I love it. I love that you went down a path which was beautiful. I want to touch on something with you.
Okay.
Just simplify it. Give me an example. I know this. Give me an example of where else, except example in the program, that people are using Pearson's law without even knowing it.
The retirement account.
Perfect. Beautiful. Finances, right? Finances.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that springs to mind, because it's ironic that a lot of people are already using this and they don't know about it, is in business. It doesn't matter what you're doing in business, whether you're working corporate, whether you're working at McDonald's, whether you own your own business, whether you're an entrepreneur. If you're only tracking, measuring, and reporting back, which is what we're talking about, which is Pearson's law, if we're only using that once a year, then you're not going to have a great business, or you're not going to have a job, right? So then that's why businesses are tracking more. And this is why I'm going back to this. This is why I want to bring this up so people can relate to it. The win your week, win your life that you said is what people are doing in business right now. Big corporate companies. That's what we do.
Yeah, if they're successful, yes, they are.
Yeah, or every month. But you can do it every week at the beginning, and then you can go to every month, and then people do it every quarter. I think every quarter is too much, because if we was to put this into a lifestyle, and this is what we're teaching about now, and this is why Pearson's law is great for health and mindset, the two things that we are based around, is you can, if you're tracking them in a month or every quarter, then you're going to be going off track very quick. And that's what I love about the win your week, win your life statement. But it is still based around Pearson's law. And I wanted to bring that up because it's relatable for people as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where else can we think about that? Where else can it be used as well? Just to see if we can trigger any other things, spitballing really.
Other areas of your
Yeah.
life, track, measure, and report back. You can do it with, I'm going to say something personal, my golf stats.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So sport.
So if people know about golf, I can track and measure and see how many greens in regulation and all the other different metrics I can look at. And then I can go, now when I go to the driving range, I can work on this because I know that's a weak link.
Yeah. What about relationship? People's relationships.
Sure. I think it's anything, you can do anything that you choose to. I know that if you think about farming, they have to track they track a lot. They track how many bushels of grain they get. They track everything from the soil content to all that stuff to make sure that they can have the best harvest they possibly can.
Beautiful.
So
So
yeah.
let's think about, well, I don't have to think about it. Where do we use in Healthy Ones to Roll? In fact, you know what? Where do we, me and you, use track, measure, and reporting in our own lives? Where do we use it? Where do we use it? Because I've just been for a blood test up at 10x Health in Scottsdale. That's track measurement. So that's one thing that we use in Pearson's Law. What else do you, what other tools do you use for Pearson's
My Aura ring, track my
Law?
sleep.
I've got the Whoop strap, just so everybody knows. There's another one. What else?
The Hume scale, the Hume
Yeah,
health scale.
which I'm going to be lending off you this evening so that I can use it tomorrow and then bring it back to you. Thank
Sure.
you.
I didn't know that, but you're welcome.
I know. What about eating, Jeff? What about eating? What are we doing recently? And we've got the community going right now. What are we doing? What we just brought in, which is again relating back to Pearson's Law.
Yeah. What we're doing is we're tracking our food on a daily basis. Whenever we eat something, we put it into our group so everybody gets to see what we're eating. And this is not a judgment thing. This is just a track and measure and report back to see if what we're doing is going in the direction we want it to go into.
Yeah. So we've given examples, we've given lots of examples of real life scenarios. And why do people say that they get stuck? They can't move forward. Most people say that they get stuck, they can't move forward. And why would you say that? Why would you say that this people are saying that? And I may not have asked the question correctly, actually.
No, that's okay. For me, people get stuck, and I'll say it this way: people get stuck because they don't have a problem; they have a story.
Cool.
And the story that they tell is the truth that they know. They're telling themselves the wrong story. If they're stuck, if they're on the hamster wheel, being a yo-yo dieter or whatever they're doing, they're telling themselves a different story. They're telling themselves a story that's not getting them the results they want.
But so if I'm hearing this right, and this is what I changed when I started working with you, is by using Pearson's Law, which is track, measure, and report back, which we talk about all the time, that I became unstuck from that. I became unstuck because I could see, like you said about the golf, I could really see where my sleep was not working properly, my stress levels were changing. I don't like using that word. My momentum, water, mindset, and then creating new habits around that, you know.
And that's where, if we go back to this just a little bit, if we get into the program and people that are in the program, what we're doing as coaches is every week we're looking for the story or the pattern that is not serving them and bringing it to the surface. And it only happens because when you are tracking something, then you promised that you would do it on a Tuesday, and the following Tuesday, when you were asked, did you do it? And you said you didn't. We're just curious on why you didn't. And then that's where the subconscious mind will tell a story of why it's okay not to do it. Well,
Yeah.
after you hear it enough times as a coach, you start to go, hey, you know what? That's a pattern. That's a pattern that's showing up. And that pattern is sabotaging you. So
Yeah.
it's not you, but it's that pattern that's inside of you. And what would you like to change that? And then we help them change that.
That makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And again, it's funny how a mathematician can create something so simple when you think about it. Simple that all we've got to do is track something, write something down, take a picture, buy a tool, go and get a blood test, which again is track, measure, and reporting. Go and utilize these tools, and all of that was designed by someone to do with numbers.
Yep.
All to do with numbers.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Pearson.
Yeah.
Over 100 years ago.
And it's funny, and I relate back to it a lot because how many people, let's look at this in a bigger perspective. And I want to talk about business because that's something where I believe that a lot of people become so fixated with how do they, and finances, by the way, so multiples, they become so fixated on how they're going to gain financial wealth or they're going to grow their business, and they forget about the biggest important thing at the end of it, which, and I love my father to bits. My dad did an amazing job at creating financial wealth for himself, and he did an amazing job of creating a beautiful business that he sold in the end. And now I look at him and I think, oh, I just wish you had done some track measuring and reporting back on Pearson's Law when it came to your health, because he's not in super bad shape, but he's 71, 72-year-old, and I'm not blowing smoke up your backside, but he ain't no you. And that's true. He isn't in. I asked him the other day, I said to him, how's your health? And he said, I'm getting a bit short of breath. I'm struggling to get upstairs right now sometimes. And I'm like, wow, okay. And it just made me realize how many business people out there, how many people that are so fixated on, I want a better life, so I'm going to go and earn so much more money or look at my finances. Then
Yeah.
when they get to the point where they've gained all that financial wealth, and we'll call it it's financial freedom, right? Where you don't need to worry about how you're going to pay your bills, or you don't need to worry about how you're going to afford to go on holiday and stuff like that. And I'm also not there yet. When you get to that point, the one thing that we've missed is the most important that we need at that point, which is our health.
And here's the cool thing about that. With your father, if he wants to, he can put his business hat on, his financial hat on, and he's very successful in that area. So if he's been successful in that area, he can be successful in other areas. He just has to focus on Pearson's Law because he did that in business. He just needs to do that in other areas of his life, in his relationships, in his health, those types of things. So
yeah.
For a lot of people that are out there, a lot of people are killing it in business. They're killing it. They're great husbands. They're great dads. They're really awesome. And what they've done is, like a lot of things that's happened in our lives, we put everybody in front of us, and we do it. We're always last. So I'll tell you, you can have 1,000. We probably all do. We probably have hundreds, thousands of problems out there until you get diagnosed from a doctor with a bad diagnosis. And then all of a sudden, those are not even problems anymore. They just fall to the wayside because this is the most important. And that's one of the things we talked about before. I'm very passionate about, like, I'm here, or we're here to help wake and shake you up to the fact that we want you to be responsible for your health. And we've created a program to help you do that around mindset. But we want to wake you up before a doctor or God does. We don't want you to go to the doctor and get that diagnosis. We never want you to have that. We want you to have a long life and a short death. We're not getting out of here alive. But I would rather have that than a short life and a long death. Right?
The reason I chuckle, because every time you say that, I've heard you say it multiple times, it takes me about 1.5 seconds to think about what you've actually just said. Like, that's why I chuckle, because I'm like, it's so true. No one's really said it. I want a long life and a short death. Yeah, if I get to 125 and I get hit by a bus and I'm dead, then that's freaking great.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm still walking,
and I think that's what we're all after. the thing is, there's a real funny thing about health. We don't worry about it until there's a red flag, a big red flag.
That's true.
And what we want to do, and like I was saying, is we just want to wake and shake you up, and to be just take responsibility for your health and get
Prevention.
healthy.
That's what we are, right? We are a prevention. We are, and this is what, in fact, you know what? That's great. Pearson's law is all based around prevention instead of reaction. All of it. When you think about it from a very logical point, if
Yep.
we're track measuring and reporting back, we're getting a set of stats that is going to give us a prevention. So,
Yep.
prime example, a pattern. It's going to give us a pattern for prevention instead of reaction. Oh shit, that's happened again. Oh crap, I've done this again, or I'm ill again at winter. Like prime example, I know, I'll use this as a great example. I know when I go back to the UK in October, November to go and work on one of my other businesses, that I am going to must take more vitamin D because of the fact that for that 5 weeks, 4 weeks that I'm there, I'm going to be going more vitamin D deficient because it's winter. It's going to be colder, so I'm going to need vitamin C, more vitamin C going into my body. Then I'm going to need the magic portion, which is the silver, which is, you know, which one is called Remedy Silver. And then I'm going to take a little bit more vitamin B, because these are the key ones that are going to stop me, because I'm going to be around the public a hell of a lot, right? And people have got germs and it's winter and they come in. But because I know that, because I've tracked, measured, and reported how I felt over the last 5 years, we know exactly what we're going to have to take, change, and do because of that. So again, thank you to Pearson's law for being a great mathematician and bringing that to our attention.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, this was a great episode. Hey, and before we do our insights, I just want to share with everybody, if you heard something today that sparked something inside of you, maybe you want to break a few rules, you want to level up your health and level up your life, then I think that's your sign. That's your sign. Become a rebel with us today at Healthy Mindset Rebels. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. Is there any more? Do you know of any more than that? Those three, right?
Apple Play, I think we're on now.
Apple Play. Okay. Or Apple Play. But hit that subscribe button and then also hit that bell. So when we have a new episode drop, you guys get to see that. Our mission is to help 100 million people get healthy once and for all. And with your help, we can make that a reality. And like we say all the time, we are your wake-up call to get healthy once and for all. And we really appreciate that. What's your insights for this call?
Oh, man, where do I start? There's loads.
Give me 2.
I'll give you 3.
Okay. I knew it. I knew I'd not have the right number.
I love numbers and numbers love me.
Yeah.
And that's my first insight, is that people think that numbers are just for finances, wealth, business, when actually numbers really can be based down to a lot of different things. Like a mathematician designed this tracking, measuring, and reporting back. And that was the big one. That was the biggest insight to me. The next one is, don't be too late to the party to start doing this. And what I mean by that is, don't be waiting for the doctor to tell you that you've got something wrong with you or a bad diagnosis or whatever. Go out there and go prevent it instead of being in reaction. And then the next one is, by doing all this, we find where the patterns are and we find what the stories are, and then we change it. Oh, and actually, I've got a 4th one. The 4th one is this. Sorry, this. The insight is this. If you haven't pushed that bell button, like Jeff, push that bell button. And if you want to start track, measuring, and reporting in a great community, then get in contact with us and we can direct you in what to do next and potentially join the program. That's the 4th one. There you go. I'm done with that. What about you?
Mine are facts don't lie, follow the facts, but track, measure, and report them. And the other thing is, if there is anything that you got out of this call, what I really want as an insight is I want to really wake someone up today to the fact that they're like, you know what? I am responsible for my health. And I don't even care if you come work with us. I don't care. I just
Yeah.
want you to get healthy. I just want you to get healthy. So that would be my second insight.
What about your third and fourth? Come on, you got two
Nope,
more.
I'm just doing two. I said I was going to do two, and I'm doing
Oh,
two.
come on. You know, 1, 2 is a problem. 1, 2, 3.
And
You've got
you know that I can push the button and shut this off too, and I can be done. So I got the power there. I'm doing
Yeah,
two.
you are.
I'm
I've
doing
got the
two.
power. I've got the people.
All right. So
Beautiful.
thanks everyone. Thanks for being part of this. Thanks,
See you
Peter.
later.
We'll see everybody next week. And remember, we are your wake up call to get healthy once and for all.
See you later.